I know other people have got questions. There's plenty of them on here. Guys, feel free to unmute yourself and come out and ask a question if you'd like.
What's the deal with lindaproject.org? Is it just completely a scam by the other guy?
Nope. No, lindaproject.org was actually the website that the founder had made, and we decided that that wasn't the direction that we wanted to go. So I made sure that that website was not used. So that is actually also owned by Sandlaw. You can, if you do, I don't know, some sort of domain check, he owns all of the domains. Unfortunately, in saying that though, you can see the difference in quality between the two websites. And we felt that that one was a lot better, the one that we've chosen now. So we went with this project. Unfortunately, in saying this though, there was so much work going into releasing the website, getting up, communication from all these different time zones, where being transparent with the community on exactly what is happening sometimes when we are building our own structure, it's a little bit difficult when you guys have to keep in mind that, this real structure started a month ago. Lindacoin is done still at its current price, at least a 5x, in 1 month, which is huge. So in saying that, we have to make sure that we keep our progress moving forward, everything going forward, and in saying that everything's hardened, and bigger opportunities come from this.
Cool.
What was the reason for lowering the masternode required amount to such a little amount compared to the 30 million it's been for a while?
That is a great question. Also, I would ask that anyone, if you have any questions about the atomic swap, please feel free after. The masternode is lowered down to 2 million because when you enter into a masternode, you get a 99% annual return. That 99% annual return makes it more available for everyone to put up a smaller amount of money and get double the amount of money. So I would feel bad, if someone put their life savings potentially to put up on a masternode and for whatever reason something happened. So I feel like, everyone needs to be able to have that accessibility and be able to have a lower amount in value in the masternode so they can get their high return and not have a 1% people that can really afford the masternode, but really expand your investments to, people that potentially are maybe middle class or
sure.
have that. Yeah, because when you have such a high class, of specifically masternodes, you're looking at 1% of people that have a masternode at 30 million, and they continue to make that. And then you have, other people that are trying to put all of their money into it and maybe can't afford other things. And I don't want you to, anyone to take out huge money for investments and stuff. It should be something that is enjoyable because you see a return that's consistent. So by lowering this value and making it 99% annual on only 2 million Linda coins, it gives everyone the accessibility to double their money. And on top of it, our new wallet will have 50 wallets. So if anyone does have, let's say, 50 or, a very large stake of Linda coins, they can divide that into multiple wallets and they still can make masternodes out of that.
So on the staking then, so is it staking at 70% return, and then if you have a masternode, it's 99%? Can you just explain that real quick? What's the difference?
Yeah, so 70% annually. That means that if you are staking this computer, you're running your node and it's running 24/7, 365, you will see a 70% increase on your initial investment. So if we are talking about the price increasing, that will obviously it will alter, your coin amount that you get, because then the scale is based off of how much you have on the current value or vice versa. So the scale sometimes changes, but if the price never changed, theoretically, you would get a 70% annual investment return and you would get a 99% annual investment return on a masternode.
Okay.
So we need to, have this rock star community. So everyone that gets in now potentially on these masternodes gets the same opportunity that some of these other altcoins have had, where people extremely gain wealth, man. And we gain this traction and we get into these atomic swap capabilities that are coming soon in the mobile app that's going to be created so everyone can potentially, have it on their phone and do any kind of, utility transfer that's needed on a daily basis.
Cool. Thanks for explaining that. Appreciate it.
With that staking question he just had, we've had some problems in the Telegram group with you got a new guy in there, an admin that he's been doing some of the tutorials, and I think he has been a real big help. But we've noticed that a lot of people are having problems with when they're staking and say, I'll just make up a number, you putting in 1 million coins in your wallet, they mature, it's unlocked for staking. And your weight should technically be the amount of coins you have. Then you receive your first reward. We're having problems where after your first reward, your weight gets cut in half, and subsequently your weight keeps decreasing. And he put out a tutorial where you can do coin control, but we've run into the problem where with the coin control, after you get your reward, the maturing process keeps re-looping, and you got to wait an extra day, and then sometimes the halving still starts over again. So to technically keep up with it, you have to keep doing the coin control every other day. At least this is for the Windows wallet that we've been running. And me and the guy have been talking on Telegram, and we can't really get a way to fix that with the waiting problem. So a lot of people are complaining that the staking rewards aren't what, I guess they should be.
Okay, so this is based off of, the past month, correct? And we've all started essentially staking within that time. We're seeing, that the numbers don't necessarily add up. We've had a huge effect right now on the whole market. And in saying that, when the market has a huge correction like this, even though your node has matured and you're allowed to get a block reward for your master node, if the current market is going down, then the current value of whatever node that you are staking, your reward structure is going to be based off of that value. So it's kind of hard to say, because you could have 100,000 coins, but those 100,000 coins could be potentially worth what our system or algorithm values 50,000 coins. So they're going to have it in order to make sure that it keeps up with this current market. Otherwise, then there would be a break in an actual node.
I think the concern, though, I experience that too on a Mac, is basically I reset when I do get my stake. I'm not worried about what I get. I'm worried about that I have to re-merge all my coins. I have to re-stake for 24 hours before I'm back in. And that ends up being almost like a 48-hour turnaround to get my stake.
Justin, can you touch on that any?
Yeah, I'm not really sure because I haven't actually experienced this yet with the Windows Wallet. I've been staking and getting rewards pretty regularly.
Yeah. I'm on a Mac, so I've seen this on Windows and Mac, and I have to say this is like a new issue. I've been staking pretty good up until about the 23rd, and then after that, it's like every time I get a reward, I gotta wait, restake it all. And I can send whoever in dev or wherever on the Discord samples of this. I don't know why it happens, to be honest.
Yeah, if you can come on the Discord, I'd really like to see what's going on there. Maybe we can get some files transferred over, and I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I've not experienced that. My wallet's been staking pretty well actually this whole time. But I mean, I have experienced sometimes where it'll skip a day. But honestly, I'm pretty sure that's just considering how much volume has come through this coin in such a short period of time.
Yeah, I think he worded it a little different. He was for the 48 hours, he's talking about the maturing process keeps having to happen again. So that's where he was talking about 24 hours is getting eaten up with maturing, and then he's got to wait for the staking hours to come back in. So that's where the big turnaround has to happen.
But that's typical. I'm staking a couple of other coins, and once you've staked, you have to wait for those to remature. I mean, is that what we're talking about?
Is that what it is? I mean, if that's
the rematuring thing started when he released a tutorial talking about the coin control, because our weights weren't as high as our coin amount. And then when we followed the tutorial with the coin control, then the rematuring process kept happening. Now I stake other coins and I run master nodes on other coins. Once I'm matured and I'm unlocked for staking, it never has to mature again.
Huh.
You know, and it keeps.
That's weird. I've been staking the Bean Cash coin for about 2 weeks, and I've been doing the same thing. And I guess it all depends on if you have one lump sum, but those have been having to remature after a stake. So I don't know. I think I know what you're saying, but I mean, I'm trying to figure out if that's going to be a problem with all those coins, though.
Yeah, the more I think about it, because I've been doing the coin collect, which makes it one lump sum. So before, I may have just been getting payouts on all those different sums. And now it's just a one lump sum. So now I'm seeing that it's actually making me wait.
Yeah, see, that makes more sense because I've noticed that there will be times where it'll skip times because the process is slightly randomized, right? It'll select it selects who creates the new chain dependent on it depends on a lot of stuff, your maturity, the stake weight, and demand, right? So there's times where I haven't gotten reward for maybe 3 days, but then the following reward usually happens to be bigger. Like it takes a larger, because you get a reward dependent on how many of your coins get used up, right? Like quote unquote during the stake process.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So however much, dependent on volume and whatever actually gets used, you get reward based on that.
That's the biggest thing. So we have to understand with the current market that's been in a big adjustment and a correction right now, the volume has actually changed, causing all master nodes to have a correction in the amount of reward that you're getting based on the fact that it's going to, be a slower volume to give you that exact amount of node reward. So even though, you're not going to get that node reward, let's say necessarily at the amount that you were expecting that specific day, it should equal out over the next 3 or 4 days.
Cool. If no one's gonna ask, have there been any updates on new exchanges? I know Binance and stuff are in the white paper. Is there any updates on that?
I'll be working on that specifically myself.
Okay.
That will be my next target after all of this stuff is taken care of.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing we do know, guys, that a lot of you guys have, there's been guys who have actually tried to put out forums and, application fees to the public themselves for these other exchanges to try to get community support and stuff like that. We are fully aware that, especially the influx of volume that some of these larger exchanges will provide will be massive for the coin. I mean, look what happened to Verge when it hit other exchanges. There's so many examples. And I mean, if you follow and you trade daily, you look at Bittrex, it's anywhere between 15 to 18 times the amount of volume that's running through the biggest exchange that Linda's on right now, Cryptopia, which is a joke. Other than that, I mean, Binance is bigger than Bittrex. So, we understand that. I mean, if we're pulling anywhere between 80 to 100 Bitcoin on a day in Cryptopia, it wouldn't be uncommon to be able to pull 3,600 coin and between all three, just those three exchanges alone, which would obviously drive the price up substantially. So, I mean, we know this is a big major goal, along with building partnerships and going out and seeking partnerships with other companies to grow adoption rates and bring the coin to the next level.
Well, and on that, to touch on that as well, you guys have to understand that each exchange has a different requirement for getting on there, and some of them are rather, dependent on price or dependent on your corporation status or this or that. And so each one has a different process, and it does take actually quite a while to get through.
There is an internal voting structure that is also in place, I know, for Binance and a lot of these bigger exchanges. So it's important that, we have a really strong community that eliminates a lot of these people that are trying to potentially affect other people's investments. So then that way we can come correctly to these exchanges. It's almost like rely on us to do our job. We rely on you to eliminate the negativity.
On the subject of partnerships, I know that, LindaCoin kind of is seeking to have two separate aspects to how the coin is used, one publicly and one privately, and securely. Is there any hesitation with how partnerships are going to be come across? I feel like there might be difficulty with gaining major partnerships with a coin that is going to be used for anonymous transactions.
That's a very good question. And the thing about it is that you have to also open your mind to what partnerships consist of. You could be talking about things that, you could be talking about things from, putting it out there to where they could purchase something off a website itself and having a bunch of vendors that accepts LindaCoin. You could have it to where it was doing, there's multiple different partnerships to where the anonymity of the coin, is actually an added feature that we could actually use in some of these partnerships to where I don't feel it's going to be a crutch or hinder the process of gaining partnerships. I actually think it's something that we could use as an added feature that is, between the anonymity and the atomic swap of the coin is, two major things, especially when we're talking about partnerships that, allows people to be with the atomic swap for, speaking of indefinitely, it basically allows them more versatility by being able to take one cryptocurrency and exchange it for another without having something like a shapeshift or anything of that nature. So, I mean, there's a lot of endless possibilities with partnerships. So I don't think it's going to hinder us at all moving forward with that.
Thanks.
On top of that, I know there was a tweet about 2,000 to 3,000 merchants a while ago. Can we get details on what that's about?
Yeah, that's through a certain different platforms that offer cryptocurrency to be able to purchase different merchant products, things like that. We know that we're seeing a partnership right now being implemented with Justin Strong. So we hope to have some of these other websites that offer multiple different varieties of products and basically just allow them to purchase LindaCoin and use the purchased products, whatever that may be specifically for that.
Got it.
We also have some partnerships. We have multiple partnerships that actually have been approached at us already. Our focus right now is really just getting the website released, and then we'll be able to go a little bit more in depth and review what those things entail. One of them does involve potential,
No.
It does. Sorry about that, Matthew. You might want to mute. It does involve.
I'm sorry.
It does involve a potential. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. It does involve potential private phone that could, entail you loading up this maybe SIM card with Linda. So then that way, you do actually have a private phone number that people don't know who's attached to this and so forth. So we do have some certain things that have been applied, as well as, different ATMs around the world that have actually approached us to have LindaCoin to be purchased and sold on their ATMs.
Nice.
Yeah, I just want to also reiterate what Jonah was saying about as far as this kind of putting out fires, with FUD. There's multiple facets here that we have to consider, and so we want to. Sorry,
My bad. Go ahead, guys.
What we would like to do is, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we'd like to do is have the community, for the most part, stomp those fires out, because that'll allow us to coordinate media to secure these partnerships and deals that we have in the pipeline, and really focus on the future of the coin. So we just don't want to waste the effort, and it also just doesn't help really with these guys. No matter what we do, if we talk to them, then it gives them more fuel, saying that we're unprofessional and we have nothing better to do than to try to stomp out FUD and prove that this isn't a scam. And past that point, there's nothing we can really do. So we'll have trusted, influential members that we can talk to and pass information to, so they can help in stomping these fires out. So we apologize for that. We it's not like we're ignoring it or we don't care. We see it and we want it to stop, but we can only do so much before crossing that line of professionalism, and it just doesn't help that much. So it's kind of the point with I just saw some questions about that, so I just wanted to answer that really quickly.
Well, I would say, like, for me personally, as someone that owns a lot, like something like this, I don't know if you guys are recording this, I don't know, but I mean, even making,
yes, we are.
Like, I mean, like something like this, like a community meeting, like I think would end a lot of FUD, because like Discord right now it's like the Wild West in there. Something like this is very good. To see you guys, to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Make this public, like I think it would go a long way.
Well, we are recording, and we are going to turn it into a YouTube thing to where anybody could share it. That way, you know, we want this to be public. I mean, that's the thing about it. And we all sat together and said, how can we address the public without, you know, well, with them being able to talk to us, ask us questions, whatever we could do to, you know, calm everybody's nerves and let them know that exactly what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And to touch on that Discord, we're actually in the process of creating some chatbots and help bots that'll automatically provide you with the links needed for setting up the wallet, doing the bootstrapping, even though that won't be needed very soon here, because we're eventually going to be ramping up doing these wallet updates so that you're not going to have to deal with that anymore. But the Discord, it'll be sorted out very short.
Good.
You know, the issue with all the feud on Twitter, I mean, you can pinpoint it to a couple of different accounts. I just feel like they're just taking different accounts, and it's a couple of individuals that
they are
just talking to themselves, you know?
They are.
So for anybody that's looking at it, might for a second think like, okay, but I don't see it as a major issue. I mean, it's the same shit the whole time.
I mean, the thing about those people are, I mean, and that's the thing. We first went the realm of, you know, reporting these people. They get rid of that account. They build another one. They do the same thing. I mean, hell, I've been catfished so many times in the last week that, you know, everybody's got my picture. So, you know, whatever, dude.
No, it is what it is, man. I wouldn't worry too much about it. The new people that come in, they look at it, they freak the fuck out, but it's the same shit.
I've seen some funny ones. They turned me into the Monopoly man and everybody else, you know. I agree.
Yeah. You just can't win. You can't win with those guys.
No, I wouldn't even bother.
I definitely want to speak on that. I feel like there was some social structure that was a little bit weird for me coming on, as I made a marketing tool, which was Linda Will. What that did was it allowed me to get the media and target specific members to, you know, create this awesome community because of, you know, other media sources without saying names. So when I had that specific structure, what I did was I removed my personal name from that, so then that way people can just emphasize that specific partnership that was happening. Of course, when you go public, people start looking up your Instagram, they start looking up your Twitter, they start looking up, you know, your personal Facebook, and all of these things need to start coming out accordingly. So yeah, I do have hobbies. I do have these things, which is weird about it. I don't understand, but they're looking for anything potentially to be untrue to make this unlegitimate. I mean, I already have my corporation papers specifically targeted on Linda Project, everything for that. We have all of the documentation. Everything is proper. So, you know, we're just at this particular point right now where we're done with it, and we want to just start getting to the big news, the big things, the big goals that we have as a project, and give to the public.
Oh.
You're good.
Yeah, thanks for making that clear. I kind of feel like all the Twitter handles started off that way in a way, as stealth kind of handles.
Who do you guys have any knowledge of who this CryptoFib guy is?
Yeah, how many times I've heard
Man,
that question.
this fucker is just going above and beyond.
I used to think he was the Ashif guy, but I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know, but he definitely seems to be upset.
Honestly, I feel like one day I'm going to wake up and he's going to be right behind me.
We can confirm he's not part of the team.
Can I just say that I've had people like try and blackmail me for 10 million Linda? Like the most unprofessional things I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
So I don't know. Like I'm almost worried because like I'm obviously not going to give you what you're asking for. That is ridiculous request. But on top of that, these, my pump and dump group is going to do this and that. I mean, these are just community members that are just ridiculous. They're not even part of the Linda community.
Hey, this is Crypto Boss. Let's go by that name for now. So, do you have a development team in place at all?
Matthew, or Mr. Bitcoin.
See, I thought I got muted so I wouldn't cough anymore. I was trying not to cough, sitting there going, no. Anyway, I would say that we're getting on top of actually a development team. As many of you know, in Discord, Nissan's in there, and like currently there's just me and Nissan that's on task for code changes or updates or writing any of the new technologies that are going to be coming through, pardon? Sorry.
So you are using, excuse me. So you're using your own private repository, I'm guessing?
No. Well, if anything, currently, I'll be honest, I've just come in, so I'm very new on the project. And when I did get here, it got my talents, or at least my focus, got put towards website, trying to make sure that it all comes out good and everything, and in light of all the stuff that has even gone on, right? But I mean, ultimately, my focus has been there. At this stage, as Jonah had mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if you were here, we have a certain protocol in terms of getting things into the GitHub and then finalized into the main or the master tree. And what we're going to be doing here soon is actually having development members make official pull requests. Those pull requests will be tested on testnet. We'll go through them, make sure that everything's all good before they ever go hit mainnet. And at that point, we're going to leverage GitHub for what GitHub really is in that case. So developers will make pull requests. We'll review those pull requests. When those pull requests pass scrutiny, they'll get moved up and then applied to the main master node. So no, I'm not running this on a personal repository in any way. Everything that will be official will come through the Linda GitHub. And the only other thing that would be personal would be where we as developers fork the masters to be able to make changes and start actually pushing the code changes through into GitHub.
Okay, so do you have any plans of expanding your development team at all?
At this point, I'm not exactly sure where we stand in that growth range, but definitely, there's absolutely no question. As soon as any of the resources come and things start coming together and actually congeal into the solid form that they are, yes, most certainly we'll be looking for more people.
Okay, I just sent you a tweet. I'm guessing Linda Project is your Twitter handle. So I just sent you a tweet. I am interested. I am a software developer. If you need to verify my credentials, I can give you all the documentation I have. So
okay.
In case
the tweet that you sent, though, you sent it to the wrong person. So technically, in all the fiasco, I'm Mr. Bitcoin. So if you redirected that tweet to me, that would be excellent. I'd really appreciate that.
Your Twitter handle is Mr. Bitcoin, you said?
Yes, with a K. MRBITKOIN.
MRBITKOIN. Okay, I'll redirect the tweet to you.
Okay, thank you. Excellent.
Hey guys, quick question.
Yeah, guys, we'll also hold on just one second. We'll also post we'll post all of our team members. We'll have a structure and everything, so you guys will know who to get a hold of for what. So this won't be an issue anymore.
I just wanted to say Matthew is being very shy there on some of his capabilities. I've seen, some of the best mobile apps put out as far as game development and some of the other things that have been used on a utility basis. I don't know if he's legally allowed to talk about them, but they are used every single day. So in saying this, when we talk about utility applications and mobile app development and using something that can be applied onto Android, onto, any kind of Apple phone or any kind of phone that is used out there, or even Linux, if that's some sort of ridiculous Raspberry Pi, that someone put a freaking phone number on. Whatever that looks like, we'll make it work. And we'll do our best to make that work. And, that's a big value to be able to have, an atomic swap that can simply be on an app. And go back and forth with absolutely no issues and have a mobile wallet. It's that simple.
Okay. Well, here's a question, guys, kind of based out of some of the FUD, and it's just something I guess I need to ask just to kind of help me clarify. But with you guys being the team members, there were some questions raised about certain holdings. And I appreciate what you said earlier, Galen, about the fact that you guys are holding your coins, you're not dumping them. What kind of assurances do we have on that? Who's holding what? I don't have a problem with pre-mine, quite honestly. I don't have a problem with some of that. But we just want to be reassured that you guys are in this for the long haul.
Of course, that is a great question. Our value is based off of work. So we actually, we have I haven't actually sold any of my Linda coin that I've gotten, but we have a structure put in from our founder where we actually get paid based off our ability to, produce work. So it kind of allows us to, show that, hey, we're not huge holders in this specific coin. We're more so trying to make a name for everybody, for Linda coin and for ourselves by hard work and passion.
Yeah, I'm certain. For me specifically as well, I'm here 100%.
Yeah, I to be honest, I only got 50,000 Linda coin, so I'm not holding that much. We're here for the technology and the coin itself.
I think I hold the most on the team.
This is Crypto Boss. I hold excuse me, a million, 1,018,000 or 30,000, something like that. 1 million plus Linda coins. Yeah. And I am definitely interested in being part of your development team. Like I said, I'm a software engineer. I work for a medium-sized corp in the US. So if you can leverage my abilities, I could be of help to you, and we can grow the team and gain more legitimacy to this project in the industry, because right now, as we speak, people are calling this a scam coin. For lack of better term, they are doing that. So I think this group has to change that outlook.
Well, there's nothing we can do about people calling it a scam coin other than working and keep progressing.
I completely get. And I completely get it. We're gonna keep developing, but if you take into mind today's website launch, there was the term written shitcoin on the website for a very long time, so that doesn't sit well with investors. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys.
Certainly.
Well, absolutely, it doesn't sit. How long did? I definitely understand where you're coming from. I don't know if you missed the. I don't know how long
timeline things that you see right now, because we have time zones, right? So if someone particularly has an issue and needs to get a hold of someone else, this is where some form of time zone can be affected. Unfortunately, but fortunately, it was just a website, and it is never going to happen that way with anything that happens with GitHub, because we have the structure in place to prevent anything like that. This was simply just an error between, you know, a specific SQL version and another SQL version, and we could admit that. But in saying, you know, the legitimacy of this coin, when you look at some of these scam coins that are out there, you're looking at a coin that dumps overnight. That is never dumped overnight. And not one of us has ever, you know, led anyone to believe that or ever said, you know, we're holdings. My specific point to this is my name being called Linda Whale was a marketing flaw. You know, everyone in these specific area is working extremely hard to make sure that Linda Coin becomes better. And it just sucks when certain people in the community try and push the fact that that's a scam coin when we're all, you know, let's say blue collar people that have come from, you know, a background where they just want to make something better. They want to do the best that they can.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And yeah, let's put today's debacle behind us and let's move forward.
Absolutely.
And regarding your offer for the development stuff, definitely. We'll definitely be looking for somebody, and clearly, yeah.
Okay, when it comes to the whole coin selling off, though, I think the main concern really isn't the developers and the team. It's really the founder. Do we know anything about what he owns and what he sold? Are we allowed to know that? Because I think that's the real concern.
Our founder is very well off. And I think it's not necessarily from Linda Coin. So in saying this, no, I don't think he's let go of any of his holdings whatsoever. Because of this project that he's working on, he has multiple other companies and things that bring great wealth to his projects that he's also doing on the overseas. So it allows him to really, you know, take this from a long-term scale. Like everyone should. We have a long-term goal. We have long-term things that we're trying to release. I don't foresee anyone having that specific worry because we're planning specifically to produce these things that we've talked about. Sure, there is some hiccups, but yeah, in 1 month, there's a new white paper, there's a new roadmap, there's a new website. I think you see an altcoin say we're going to do all that and then have hiccups and still deliver within a month, let me know.
Yep. If no one's going to ask anything, do you see any issues with atomic swaps on mobile apps, like getting approved on iOS and stuff like that? Because it kind of seems like a gray area, in my opinion, of what they may allow.
Currently, yeah, I'm kind of keeping track of all what the goings on specifically with Apple and Android. Currently, what it seems that they're targeting are stealthy and hacked phones that are being used to mine and such. So I still have to navigate through what defenses and such and restrictions that they're going to be implementing. Once I actually sit down and the plans start coming through on how the mobile apps will progress, hopefully I expect all of that data to be in place. So right now I can't really give you an answer because in a way, just even my perception or understanding of it is kind of a gray area of how they're going to stop or thwart the problem. And they haven't necessarily implemented anything in a hardcore sense. I know that Android's about to release something that's supposed to help combat the hacking mining with cell phones, but I'm not exactly sure what the technology is. And until they actually push that out to developers in a more complete fashion, I don't have a real good solution, but definitely whatever, we'll be working with whatever confines to make sure that we get to the platforms, the mobile platforms, as best as we can.
Okay. Sounds good.
Well, guys, if there's no more questions, then I think we're going to leave it here. I want to thank everybody, you know, for coming into this meeting. I really appreciate you guys, you know, taking the time to ask these questions. We'll try and do this more often, and we'll do it in a more professional manner where, you know, maybe we can all be available live so you can see our faces and kind of get some more personality behind exactly what we're saying.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for doing this.
Not a problem, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.